In central Iowa, there are few who haven't been informed, encouraged, or provoked to outright laughter by Van Harden of WHO Radio.
It's 8:10. Here we are, Van and Bonnie in the morning. Thursday, the only day we allow cattle in the studio.
For 4 hours each weekday, Van and his co-host Bonnie Lucas guide residents of Des Moines and central Iowa to work and keep them informed of everything. Van's radio career has netted him the prestigious Marconi Award, spawned leisure suit conventions, and provided a platform for promoting his own cheese crust pizza and inspirational book. He's even had an ice cream bear the name of him and his co-host, appropriately enough called Van and Bonbon. The life of a morning radio host and program manager is not one that cooperates with good physical health. An alarm that goes off at 3 a.m., a largely sedentary job, food constantly making its way into the studio from everyone, from the Iowa Beef Council to the Iowa pork producers to the local grocery store promoting cookies and cupcakes, all, of course, with samples to rave about on air. As the years went by, the pounds kept going on as well, taking an increasing toll on his energy and productivity. Van made a trip to the doctor and found the root of his problem.
At my desk in the afternoon, sometimes I'd fall asleep. And that was embarrassing. Sometimes people would come in and wake me up, and that was embarrassing. And I thought, this is not good. And I thought, I don't know how much longer I can do this. And so I thought, well, I'm not a guy that runs off to the doctor. I'm a typical guy. And I thought I probably better go. The doctor started quizzing me on my dietary habits. And he said, what do you eat for breakfast? And I said, I don't eat breakfast. I'm on the radio. He says, oh, okay, well, what do you have for lunch? And I said, I hate to say it, but a lot of times I don't have lunch either. And he said, well, when do you eat? And I said, I eat at 5 o'clock when I get home, and then until I go to bed. And he slapped his forehead, and he got out a sheet of paper, and he says, okay, here's what you're going to do for the next month. Here's what you're going to eat. When you get off the air at 9 o'clock, you eat oatmeal with raisins and walnuts. At noon, you eat one thing of yogurt. And then for dinner, you can have like a chicken breast, skinless, boneless chicken breast, and a vegetable. And if you want dessert, you can have a fruit. And so I thought, boy, I said, that's it? And he said, that's it. And then I thought, you know, if I'm going to ask a guy for help, I probably should take his advice. I went right over to the Office Depot and I got a little binder that I still have with me today. And every single day, every single time I eat, I write down in there what I ate. And every morsel of food that's gone through my lips since mid-April, I have diaried.
In addition to journaling all his food intake, Van added a simple yet life-changing routine to his life. He started walking.
At the track at the school. And I would walk around 4 times, and then I got to looking at the stadium seats there, and I thought, I bet I could walk up and down those too.
Van's walking revival took him to over 30 high school and college tracks around central Iowa.
I just walk 8 laps around every one. And it's fun and it's fascinating and it's not boring.
Van's changes to his diet and walking routine has already shed nearly 100 pounds off his body weight. On a return trip to his doctor, he got a surprising reaction.
And I said, if you really want to know, here's my book. And I said, that'd be kind of boring for you. He said, oh no, I want to look through that. So he did. He took the book and he looked through every single page and he was shaking his head. He said, this is amazing. This is amazing. I wish everybody that I talk to would take this as seriously as you do.
Despite having every reason why he can't lose weight, Van doesn't want his job to be an excuse for poor physical fitness anymore.
You go out to dinner, and the things that you have on your list aren't there, but there's almost always like a salad or something that's without all the dressing and without all the peripheral stuff on it that you can have. Your family doesn't eat the same way you do. They either don't want to do what you're doing or they can't do what you're doing, and then you feel bad, well, you know, I should fudge factor a little bit. No, you don't do that. You've got the mindset of here's what I need to do, and I am going to do this. And the perfect thing for me was the Iowa State Fair, because I thought if I can make it through the Iowa State Fair, I can make it through anything, because at the Iowa State Fair, when we go out there and broadcast, not only is food readily available, but people bring it to you on a plate and say, here, eat this. And I'm happy to say that at the Iowa State Fair this year, I didn't eat one single thing. I bought a couple of bottles of bottled water, and that's the only thing I spent money on out there.
As Van's physical transformation gained momentum, people started asking him what his secret for weight loss was and how he was feeling.
I didn't fall asleep at my desk anymore. And it still wasn't easy when the alarm clock went off at 3:15 to get up. It wouldn't be for anybody. But it was a lot easier to get my feet on the floor and go to the shower and get going for the day. And I noticed that, and I thought, well, this feels a lot better than it used to feel. One thing I found is that the exercise gets easier too, which there are good and bad sides to that. But I mean, like going up the stairs, it's a lot easier for me to stair step now, because I'm not lifting as much weight up those stairs as I used to. I have people come up to me all the time. They say, Van, with a question mark after it. Some people didn't even recognize me, but said, what are you doing? I want to know. And so it's a chance to witness to people that have had a hard time or having a hard time losing even 5 or 10 pounds, you know, and I know because I've done that over and over and over.
Having lived on both sides of the health spectrum, Van wants to share a message of hope, steadfastness, and encouragement to those who sense a need to change direction.
I did this. I know that other people can do it too. Some people say, oh, you just have more willpower than I do. Well, first of all, you got to know there's going to be landmines, and you're going to disappoint yourself a time or two also. You got to get over that, just like shooting a bad golf shot. I mean, if you let it get to you, then the next one's going to be even worse. I think, especially for people of faith, you know, this whole thing makes it sound like I worked really hard to do this, but to tell you the truth, God did it because I asked him to help me. And that doesn't mean you don't have attacks from the other side trying to distract you, but that's more that they want to get you away from God than it is getting you away from your diet. Don't ever base your total joy and happiness on how much you weigh. God created you, and he saved you by his grace. And that's where the real joy comes. I mean, if you're basing your joy on listening to Van Harden and doing what he says, then that will be fleeting. I mean, that may create some happiness. I'm happy I've lost weight, but I'm more joyful because I'm a person of faith, and that will never go away. This body's going to go away. I don't know how many years from now, nobody does, but it will. But for eternity, I think it's better that I've done what I've done, and I would encourage people to do that too.
So, if you see Van Harden walking on a track near you, be sure to say hi. But don't bother offering him a corn dog.